Hey guys, Curtis here. Tip of the day number 19. Today I'm gonna run a rack of what's called the Super 7 drill. It's the end part of the drill we talked about yesterday, which was starting with 3 strikes on the 8 ball, breaking, giving yourself ball in hand, finding the best and easiest pattern to get out. You find the key ball, the ball to get to there, and the ball that gets you there. Then you add a ball, 4 strikes, then a 5th, then a 6th. But once you get to the 7th, this is a very, very powerful exercise. So you can only go to this as the last component of it, is when you have done a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6. Now when you can get to a 7, when you can start doing this regularly, you're going to win a lot of games, especially at the intermediate level. The table's open, so it's a matter of getting out when you can. How do you do that more often? By choosing the right patterns, by recognizing the right outs, committing to them, and finishing it. This will teach you. You're going to see me run one out, and you're going to see how I'm using all the principles that we've been talking about into a run-out game. Okay, you're going to see different things. So this is called the Super 7 drill, and let's do one right now. So, the important thing here is we're going to work on our break. What we do is we try and see if we can hit the. We're not hit it at a speed. We're not going to do our full break or anything, but we'd like to do it from dead on to start with. And the idea is, can we smash this without the cue ball going right and left? It can come back and forward, but we don't want it. I have a natural tendency to go this way. So when I'm breaking, what I do is I aim slightly to the right, and I still came over a little bit. So that's something that I got to work on. If you make a ball, you don't want to cluster things up, but we are going to spot it because we want to do the max. It's called the Super 7 8-ball drill. So what we do, we give ourselves a ball in hand. There's a couple of principles. We want to pick the key ball and the ball to get there. There can be a few, but we commit to that. And we also, the secondary part with those balls is recognizing that, for example, if I make the 13, then I open up the 14. Okay? I also notice that the 10 would be tough to make in this pocket. So the rest of these, it seems like they're pretty much in the open. So I'm focusing here. I think that if I can get to the 14, the 10, and then I'm out. I see that as a pattern. So I would start with this and getting out of the way. Or the other thing I can do is start with this and getting out of the way. It doesn't matter. But I kind of like this because if I'm on the 14, then I'm on the 8 if I wanted to get there, or I could go from here. So maybe what we do is we get rid of this one, and then we come back around here. So that's what I just seen as a potential pattern. We're always looking for roll and stop and slide instead of draw if we can. So in this case, instead of drawing it in, all I'm going to do is follow through and try and get a nice shot on the 13. Stay still, a little bit there. Now this is going to be the one shot where I need to get back out to the middle of the table, and then I should be back in line. But my goal here now is to get to here, or here, and then 14 is my last ball. There's another way to do it too, that now that I'm seeing it, I'm recognizing it, and this is I could be from here to here. So maybe what I'm going to do is you can switch your plan. That's part of 8-ball. If you want to, we'll stick with our plan, but there would be a way of, if I notice halfway through that this is better, you can do that, but it's better to just kind of commit to one plan and not overthink it. Now it's about execution. So I'm coming back out here. So now, what we need to do, if you notice, we're doing a lot of roll, stop, stuns. We're not using right, we're not using left. If we have to use right and left when the balls are like this, we're probably not playing the perfect pattern. So in here, there's a couple of things we can do. I would say I just roll up to here, then I stop, then I'm going to go there. There's a couple of shots shots here. But the important thing is that I'm going to roll it just past the side. I'm going to commit to this shot, follow through. So now I'm on here. So now, but here's an interesting thing. I want to shoot this next. I could shoot this, but then if you notice, these last two, yes, it could be done, but that's when you got to travel for no reason, and that's how you get in trouble. So I'm going to take this 9 ball, and I'm going to draw it into here, come down the line towards my 15. No right, no left, just a nice low stroke coming towards the 15. Right? Didn't make it complicated. Now, what I'm on here, so what I'm going to do is, I want to leave a little angle on this, so I'm coming towards the 14. So visualize the key shot here is where do I want to be? Don't just say I make this and then all of a sudden I'm straight on because I didn't take the time to visualize where I want to be. So in this case, we don't want to be straight if we can avoid it. So we really are just we're going just a hair ahead, but not much. See? Take the angle. Why am I taking the angle? Most people will roll it forward, and then what happens is you could get straight. So in this case, you don't play position when you've already got position. Key point a lot of times is you pick there. Yes, it's a little bit angled, but I remember is now I'm coming towards this ball. So the other thing I can do is what I like to do, because straight is good, is if we put if we bump this rail, then we're giving ourselves even more margin for error. So there's a couple ways to play this. I personally like to bump the second rail, giving myself the most amount of margin for error. So see how I bump that? And then I'm perfect. Last one here, what we want to do, visualize still where we want to be. We want to be right around there. We're not skipping steps. Step into the shot, no right, no left. Follow through. And again, this is the tip. One of the tips of the day, yes, we're on the 8 ball, but we don't just shoot it. We get back into our stance. We pick a spot on the table that we like to be. Maybe it's right about here. You could stop it, but the point is in every other shot in pool, you are playing shape. So when you get to the 8 ball, you still should pick some kind of shape. Otherwise, you're going to make this different than every other shot. So for me, I'm just working on the speed of the table. I will just roll that straight in. Follow through. It's exactly where I wanted it to. And that's a run out. That's called the Super 7 8-ball drill. There's all kinds of different patterns, but you start with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you can start doing this drill on a regular basis and getting out, your winning percentage in 8-ball will increase.